RNZ.
All right, are you guys all good to go? Everybody happy? Well, kia ora. Kia ora everybody, it's great to be at the second week of Polyfest. One festival but two events. The second event today, which is all around kapa haka, and a fantastic celebration of kapa haka it's been. It's been so great to just see kapa haka really being celebrated in schools across Aotearoa, and events like this give us an opportunity to see the passion, the energy, the pride, the aroha that goes into these performances. I can see just watching the kids who have been performing just how much they are getting out of it, how much they are learning from it, and how much they're taking back to their communities as a result of being part of events like this. So it's pretty special for us to have that opportunity to come and celebrate with them. And I'm happy to answer questions. Yeah. Well, I probably needed a little bit more practice beforehand. Maybe I reckon I had 2 goes at it. Maybe with a third go, it could have been third time lucky. I could have really nailed it. But I think I'll go away and practice with the kids over Easter. We've seen a real celebration of events like Polyfest, Te Matatini. There's a whole lot of events that have really started to gain a huge amount of momentum in recent years, and we've got to keep that going. You know, if we as a country can find money for events like having an English football team coming to New Zealand, we surely should be able to find money to support events like the Polyfest, events that celebrate who we are as a country and give our people an opportunity to be on the stage. Yeah, I have. It's pretty uninspiring. It's just reshuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic, really. This is a government that's been going backwards. The country has been going backwards under their leadership. There's no new energy in there. There's no new faces. There's no new ideas. This is just reshuffling what New Zealanders have already seen for the last 2.5 years. There's no promise of a better future from this reshuffle.
And just on the reshuffle, is this political battle for Chris Bishop?
Well, Chris Bishop tried to roll Christopher Luxon. It shows how weak he is that Chris Bishop's even still in the ministerial lineup. It's a pretty big move to try and depose the Prime Minister. The fact that having done that, he's still a senior front bench minister shows that Christopher Luxon's too weak to really do anything about that.
But do you think he's been punished yet?
Oh, clearly. He's had some of the portfolios that he most likes taken off him. But, you know, ultimately, after trying to remove the sitting Prime Minister, you'd expect the consequences to have been more.
What do you make of Paul Gold's?
Well, the government really struggles in its relationship with Pacific people as it struggles in its relationship with Māori. I'm not sure that putting Paul Goldsmith in charge is going to change anything there.
What do you make of the Cook Islands agreement? Do you think it will fix the relationship?
It's good that Winston Peters has been in the Cook Islands. The relationship between New Zealand and the Cook Islands has certainly taken a dive in recent years. And regardless of who the government is, we do need to improve that. We need to get to the point where, our countries are working closely together as we have in the past. The Cook Islands is sort of part of the realm of New Zealand. They use the New Zealand country, our economies are very integrated, people move between the countries regularly, and so we need to have a good, solid working relationship with their government.
And who would Labour rather have campaigned to? Chris Bishop or Senior?
I'm looking forward to beating either of them. And then the National Party is just like an ongoing Game of Thrones, really. The Labour Party has been incredibly stable. We've got a very united team. And what you see on the other side is a team more interested in their own futures and their own fortunes than those of New Zealanders. We're in the middle of a major international crisis, a cost of living crisis, and the message that we're getting today is that the National Party are more interested in their own jobs than they are in the jobs of Kiwis up and down the country.
What do you think Simeon Brown as campaign chair could mean for their campaign?
It's not really going to make any difference. The National Party haven't got a track record to campaign on. You know, they can't say that they fixed the economy because the economy has shrunk. They can't say they've got Kiwis back to work because more Kiwis are out of work now than when they became the government. They can't say they've built anything because infrastructure spending has actually gone backwards under this government. They promised to fix things and they've made them worse.
Is Simeon Brown getting energy a sign that Nicola Willis has assumed too much power after the crisis?
It potentially means that they're about to axe the LNG terminal. The LNG import terminal was just bad policy. Changing minister right before they exit is probably the only way that they could make that look credible.
Fuel crisis, and the report out today says that the fuel crisis will mean on average household diesel is $55 a week. What's your reaction to that?
The government needs to be doing far more to support New Zealand households through the fuel crisis. $50 a week for some families is huge. They're only giving targeted support to a few families when a lot of Kiwis are missing out, and they deserve extra support as well.
And home and community support workers will receive a temporary 30% increase to their mileage rate to help offset rising fuel costs. Is that enough?
It's welcome, but not enough. This is a government that cancelled pay increases for care and support workers. It hasn't taken their issues seriously over the last 3 years, and as a result, those care and support workers who fought so hard for pay equity in the first place have actually gone backwards.
Would you do more if you were government?
We would, first of all, put pay equity back on the table for care and support workers. They went all the way through the court system to get fair pay, and they've seen that eroded, and this government have actually passed a law that means they can't lodge another pay equity claim for 10 years. That shows how little this government values them.
The government also announced an expansion of diesel storage. What do you make of that?
They've announced 90 million litres of additional diesel storage. They could have had 70 million additional litres of diesel storage in place now if they hadn't cancelled that when they became the government.
Just one more on the reshuffle. Does Penny Simmons deserve to be promoted?
It's difficult to see what Penny Simmons has done to deserve a promotion into Cabinet. They clearly don't have any new talent emerging on their backbench. The fact that they're recycling someone who was previously sacked from Cabinet for doing a hopeless job.
And what do you think of Chris Hipkins promoted to Cabinet?
Look, I actually think Chris Pink in the building portfolio has actually done some reasonably good things, but we'll just reserve judgment on his performance as a Cabinet Minister until he's had time to demonstrate that.
Do you have any more thoughts on the next generation?
This is not going to change New Zealand's fortunes. This is not a government with ideas about how we can actually lead New Zealand forward. It's a government that's constantly looking backwards. They cannot agree with each other, so how can they possibly present a unified vision for the country? Cool. Thanks, everybody.